Hey y'all, welcome to Toasted Taste Buds. I'm your host Lana Levins, and we are finally doing it, y'all. I've been wanting to put long form videos to my recipes for a while now, but I haven't felt super comfortable on this side of the camera, but I am breaking through that fear and just doing it. I hope to make long form videos of what I've already made that are on my site, Toasted Taste Buds, along with all of the basic videos like butter and oil. However, I am probably going to have a lot of new things coming out too. I hope to post once a week on here, but we'll see how it goes. Until then, you can find a lot of those recipes on there. A little bit about me, since this is my first video on here. I've been in the cannabis industry for at least 5 years now, and a partaker long before that. And I also graduated from culinary school, but I'm not a huge fan of like the fast-paced life of restaurants. I'm definitely more into the cannabis industry where it's pretty slow and chill. But I did want to merge my two passions there into one and create something that hopefully inspires people to create their own cool infusions, and also educate people and share techniques with people that will just kind of end stigmas around the plant, or end that whole idea of that like edibles are bad. A lot of the reason people think that is because dispensary edibles kind of are bad. I personally don't like them. I find that they are way too strong, and also are usually made with a concentrate, which leaves my head feeling super fuzzy the next day and just gives me a groggy feeling that I don't really enjoy long term, because edibles do last a while. I do, however, love making homemade edibles with butter and oil. Butter is kind of my main tried and true, but I do like to experiment from there. And my sweet spot's kind of between like 2.5 to 50 milligrams, depending on what kind of experience I want to have, which strain I'm using, all that good stuff. But I'm not someone who just wants to eat like a bit of a cookie. I want to eat the full cookie and still not feel like I can't wake up the next day. So dosing your edibles based off your own preference is super recommended. Of course, if you want to go higher with any of the infusions I make, you're totally welcome to. As well as if you want to go lower or completely omit the cannabis altogether, all of my recipes are super friendly for that. I love the art of making food, and kind of that's what I look at it as, is like it's a culinary art. It's just making something visually pleasing and also just inspiring all your senses, really, right? So, and I think cannabis helps elevate that to another level. So merging those two, as much as I love eating weed, I also just love the art of culinary creation. So I think a little bit of everything, someone can find something that they enjoy from this, hopefully. That all being said, I'm going to start off today with something I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to be making seared scallops, which are pretty easy to do at home. And then going to elevate that a little bit with a butterfly pea infused coconut milk and a basil infused Canna-Oil. Of course, I did already make the oil, and I plan to make a long form video on how I did that very soon. However, I do have the full recipe on how to do that on my site. So I would do that first, maybe a day or two before, and then make this basil oil. And of course, since I am kind of a stoner, I forgot to make the basil oil a day before, but I do recommend that. That way the basil can really infuse into the oil and give you a stronger basil taste. Anyway, with all that being said, let us get into the ingredients. All right, so this is what we got going on. We have some fresh basil for the Canna-Oil. I have a little pre-made Canna-Oil here. I'm just gonna use what I have left and infuse this. Once you make the basil infusion into it, or whatever herb you decide to use, it will last for about like 10 days. So I think I can get through this in 10 days. We are also going to be searing scallops. I got some ice to cool them on, which we'll use to shock our blanched basil. I got coconut milk, use whatever brand you prefer, a little bit of ginger, This is butterfly pea flower, just dried. I got these off Amazon in a big bundle, but you could probably find them at like a local herb place or somewhere that has more like holistic kind of things. You can also grow the flowers yourself. So I also have carrot, lemon, and shallot. And then this is kind of experimental. I'll tell you how it works at the end, but I'm going to be putting some white miso paste in the coconut cream as well, just to give it kind of more of an umami flavor that will pair with the shallots, hopefully nicely. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we start by blanching our basil. Boil some water with salt and put your basil in for a couple minutes until it's brighter green, and then you're gonna place that in the ice bath. Squeeze out the moisture before putting it in the food processor with your oil, and then just mix those together until well combined. And then put that back on the stove just to release a little bit more heat, or a little bit more of that infusion. You can also just leave this for a couple days in the fridge before straining it, but I'm just straining it the first day. Keeping it for a couple more days will enhance that flavor. Put it in a sealed container. I'm just throwing it in here for now for this recipe. And then we're going to heat up our coconut milk and our butterfly pea flour on medium-low heat. You can add more flowers if you want a deeper blue, but I kind of like the baby blue kind of seascape that I'm going for here, so we're just using about a tablespoon. And next we're going to add the miso to this and just stir it in until it's well combined. Now you can keep reducing this down, but I kind of like it as more of a liquidy milk still, so we are going to strain this as well with a cheesecloth. So now you have your basil oil and your butterfly pea flour milk on standby, and you're going to heat up a pan, get it real hot. I've had my scallops in the fridge drying, so you want to do that first actually, and season the tops, and then put the tops on the bottom on a really hot pan and season the other side. Now we're looking for this golden brown color. I've made them lighter too. It's still good, but generally scallop lovers like these golden tops with a nice soft inside. And I kind of skip plating, but you're going to put that down and then drop the basil oil down and garnish. I did about a half tablespoon of basil oil, and you can play with the different designs to it. I added some edible flowers and carrots, and not all the basil oil gets picked up with the scallop, so even though it's a bit heavy, it's still going to be a nice light infusion and very refreshing.